I came back from the combine with a bunch of rumors that I heard, and that segment caused a tizzy, where I said that multiple people were telling me things, and I decided to give you an idea of what I was hearing at the combine. Give you an idea of putting yourself in my shoes of what it's like to be at the combine, the chattiest of the cathiest of all NFL events. And, that went viral because the top rumor involved Tom Brady. Couple people saying, hey, might not be done.
You were just saying this is stuff you heard. You didn't make
right,
this.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
no reporting.
And number 2 on the list was that the Packers sure hope Aaron Rodgers tells them I don't want to come back. Number 3 on the list. It is not pretty between Lamar and the Ravens. That was number 3 on the list. Came back on that Monday. Told you this is what I was hearing at the combine. I must admit, I did not hear that he had requested a trade, as he let everyone know today. And that trade came on the Thursday of the combine. First day of on-field drills, March 2nd, is what he said in the second of a 4-tweet thread that started with the words, "A letter to my fans." And he just wanted to let you all to know not to believe everything you read about me. Let me personally answer your questions in regard to my future plans. As of March 2nd, I requested a trade from the Ravens organization for which the Ravens has not been interested in meeting my value. Any and everyone that's met me or been around me knows I love the game of football, and my dream is to help a team win the Super Bowl. You're all great, but I had to make a business decision. It was best for my family and I, no matter how far I go or where my career takes me, I'll continue to be close to my fans at Baltimore, Flock Nation, and the entire state of Maryland. You'll see me again. Truz. That's a 5Z, Truz? Let's stay connected. Subscribe to my fan page. And then he threw that one out there. So this is the way it's going for Lamar Jackson. A couple of Mondays after he was allowed to talk to a whole bunch of teams. Anybody with 2 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts consecutively can talk to him. He is a free agent, restricted, obviously, because the Ravens can match whatever offer sheet he receives. It's called the non-exclusive franchise tag. And if the Ravens don't match whatever offer sheet he does get, they get 2 first-round picks from the team that signs him, and that's why you need to have a first-round pick in this year's draft and next year's draft just to talk to Lamar Jackson. And to my sense of things, the fact that he tweeted this out today tells me he hasn't gotten much since he's hit the market, able to talk to anybody with 2 consecutive first-round picks, and, of course, the desire to spend a considerable amount of money, and, of course, maybe change around their plans for the immediate and long-term future of their franchise, and, of course, potentially, if necessary, change their offensive philosophy to suit his remarkable football skills. And thus, the tweet comes out today that he has demanded a trade from a team that has, again, the right to match whatever offer sheet he gets, and, of course, if he does somehow, some way, come back to the Ravens, reverse whatever course he is clearly setting himself on to get himself elsewhere to be paid what he considers to be worthy of his skills, and differently from the way the Ravens have put something on the table, which we still don't know the exact details of. As I dangle my participle, I just say all of this to point out that it sure looks like he hasn't gotten a single offer yet, and that the Ravens and him appear to be on the rocks, and the Ravens, as I mentioned, not only can match their offer sheet that anybody might sign Lamar to, but if Lamar, as I said, does come back, they can franchise tag him again. So that's the situation as Lamar hit send on a tweet today, just as John Harbaugh put his behind in a seat at the NFL annual meeting today. And we are showing a photograph on the screen that I saw on Twitter of the scrum that surrounded John Harbaugh's table at the league meetings right after Lamar Jackson hit send on his tweet to say he has demanded a trade. It was a total media scrum. Caused, I imagine, it still would have been that busy had Lamar not hit send, assuming he used the thumb of the right hand that won an MVP award, along with the legs attached to that whole body. I assume it would have been just that crazy, but maybe some more arrived because Lamar said, hey, I've been wanting a trade since March 2nd, the Thursday of the Combine. This is what John Harbaugh had to say.
I haven't seen the tweet. It's an ongoing process. I'm following it very closely, just like everybody else is here, and looking forward to a resolution. I'm excited, thinking about Lamar all the time, thinking about him as our quarterback. We're building our offense around that idea, and I'm just looking forward to getting back to football, and I'm confident that's going to happen.
So that was John Harbaugh's initial reaction. And I'll tell you, it's completely consistent with what he has been saying publicly, and I can personally attest because, man, I had no idea this sit-down chat prior to the Week 15 game against the Browns on that Saturday middle game of the NFL Network triple header that started with the Vikings coming back on the Colts and finished up with the Bills and Dolphins in the snow. I had no idea that game I was calling with Kurt Warner and that conversation I had with John Harbaugh would provide me with enough knowledge or background or conversation pieces to this day. Final Monday of March of 2023. But man, that's exactly what he was saying to us at the table on the record and then as he was walking out of the room. That's all he did was sing the praises of Lamar Jackson. That's all he does. Even as Lamar hit send on a tweet that puts him in a very compromised position in front of the media. This was the follow-up question about can you essentially put Humpty Dumpty back together as we in the media believe it's now broken.
So you build your team. I mean, you build your team regardless. I mean, we're building our team all the time in all the different areas that you got to build it. And I know, and that train is moving, man. The train is moving fast. But here's the thing. You know, when Lamar gets back on board that train, he's fully capable of jumping on full speed. You know, Lamar can go. And so when that train's moving and he merges in with us, we're going to be rolling. That's what, as a coach, that's what I'm thinking about.
So you're literally building this offense still with the idea that Lamar is your quarterback.
Of course. You know, and you prepare for all contingencies, but you build a great offense for your players, right? I mean, that's what you do. And Lamar's under contract, and that's the guy that's the guy I want to see be our quarterback. You know, that's my guy. We made a decision to go with Lamar Jackson 5 years ago, right? Why? Because we love him. We love him. We love the way he plays. We love his mindset, his charisma, his style, the way he is in the locker room. Everything about him, we love him. I love him personally. I love being the coach of the team that he's playing quarterback for. So that's what you do. You know, you build the team around your players, and that's what I'm excited to do.
So John Harbaugh, I believe, is proving himself to be the greatest frontman since Mick Jagger. Robert Plant, keep going. Whatever you want to do. Lennon, McCartney. You want to talk about frontmen?
Freddie Mercury.
Oh, sure.
Bono.
What a frontman. Because the most important part of that response to Kimberly Martin, I believe, of ESPN asked him the follow-up question. So you're still planning on him being your quarterback? Of course. Let's not forget, last year, Pete Carroll, at 2 combines ago, last year was talking about how he and Russ were staying together in Seattle. It's all good. And they were well down the road already. Done. So it's entirely possible that they are done in Baltimore, but I doubt it because the crucial part of that response from John Harbaugh was he's still under contract. And then he followed it up, I love him, and started going on about exactly why he loves him and showing Lamar through the media, despite him hitting send and putting him in a tough position, he still loves him. They love him unconditionally in Baltimore, and if that matters to Lamar at all, you know, he should take stock in that. Will he go and be loved as unconditionally wherever he goes next? I think he feels he would. And he has every right to follow what he believes in his gut is best for him and to be paid in the manner in which he feels he should be paid as somebody who once upon a time split up with ESPN, the team that drafted me, you know, I steadfastly thought to myself that if I stay put here, I am not going to be respected. If I stay put here, I am not going to be put in a position to succeed in the manner in which I feel my talents, can excel in it. And I need to get out. Even though the rest of the world was saying to me, what the hell are you thinking? And yeah, I'm the Lamar Jackson of this equation. But I am just saying that I totally understand if Lamar is putting his foot down and the rest of the world is saying, what are you thinking? And he's just going to go straight ahead. But I didn't hear from ESPN the stuff that John Harbaugh just said. They love him unconditionally. But as you also pointed out, he's under contract. So at some point, Lamar's going to have to just sit down. The rubber is going to meet the road. Unless this trade demand does shake loose somebody calling up Eric DeCosta saying, I know it's 2-1s to sign him, but, we're not going to take him off your hands through this manner of negotiation and conversation just so you could match it. We'll take him off your hands. He doesn't want to be with you anymore. Let's talk turkey. Give us the opportunity to talk to him. We'll talk to him, but we're not going to give you just 2-1s just straight up. If you're just going to match it, let's talk what we can do here. Unless that happens, Lamar is going to be staring into the abyss of a signing this deal or going back and negotiating with the Ravens again, whether it's with his team, whoever his team is, or he's going to have to sit there and stare into the abyss and wonder, do I just sit at home? Do I stand on principle and at this age of my career cough up one full year? He could look at it, and if he is in some sort of a, tit for tat, however you want to put it, if he's in some sort of a sticking your chest out and I need to be paid like Deshaun Watson, if he's in some sort of feud or what have you, where he looks at Watson and says, I'm going to look at you and say, I'm getting $1 more than you. Well, I guess Deshaun stayed put for a year, although the circumstances were completely different as to why Watson sat out for a full year, as we all know. And he still got his deal with everything like that hanging over his head, and Lamar has none of that hanging over his. He's going to be winding up staring in the abyss. Does he not play and figure out? Does, the entire gym, that business that he has with the aforementioned Ken Francis, is that going to bring in $32 million of revenue? I don't think so. By the way, somebody else pointed out, I forget who, I hopped in my Twitter feed, somebody pointed out this week, it's interesting that he has a business partner for his private gym project, but not an official business partner in a $200 million business known as Lamar Jackson Football Incorporated. Man, this is as unique as it gets. I mean, you can't make heads or tails of it, but now it's fully out in the open, although the Ravens don't admit it. The Ravens are all like, we love him. We'll take him back. We're planning on it. And Harbaugh, I mean, again, playing that music up front on the fly. And the reason why he could say those things and had it at the ready is because that's all he's said publicly, period. He went back to the same sheet music, which is entitled, We Love Lamar. And we love Lamar more than anyone else can love Lamar. We loved him the minute we drafted him, when to go get him. We loved him when we kicked our Super Bowl MVP to the curb in the middle of the season and changed everything up to start with him. We love Lamar to set him up for success for the MVP. We've loved Lamar when he hasn't finished the last 2 seasons. And we've loved Lamar when we had to actually love him so much to show him the door, to say, you find out for yourself. That's how much they love him. But it is not mutual. Clearly. What happens next? Great question. But I think I've mapped out the roads for you. Either some team now sees this and says, the Ravens don't have the same leverage anymore. Let's go knock on their door to talk about terms and dollars. Or Lamar's got a decision to make right around like July. Does he sit out? Or does he sign the tender and play ball? Because he does do that really well and could get paid $32 million to do it and is really, really, really in love with playing football, which the Ravens know too. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.